is up, everyone? So today I thought I would do a little chit chat vlog. I haven't done one of these in a while, but I feel like it's much needed because this is the last few days of my mini shred, and a lot of people have been asking on my progress photos or in my Instagram direct messages, what have I been doing for the last 10 to 12 weeks? So I thought I would answer some of the questions that I asked you guys to send in on my Snapchat and my Instagram, as well as running through just a few other things that I feel like adding into the video. So this video is going to be all about doing a mini shred or just a shred in general, and it's going to cover the exercise I do, the foods I eat or don't eat, and just a few extra questions that you guys have asked me about supplements and things. So let's do this. First, I better talk to you about why I decided to do a mini shred. So post-competition, I went a little bit crazy. I put on a few kilos and I just kept going and I kept eating, and I didn't feel very good about how I was doing everything with my training and my nutrition. So I thought I would get things back on track and do a mini shred to drop a few kilos. So what I did was I started cutting, and I'm going to talk to you more about that process. But anyway, I didn't think that I was overweight before, and that's not why I did it. I just did it because I wanted to feel happy, healthy and strong and end 2017 on a high. What I did to keep me on track was book in a photo shoot. So my last vlog, the one of my birthday weekend, was the shoot that I locked in with Kendra as the photographer. So what I did was I booked in kind of like an underwear photo shoot to give me something to look forward to, and that was my mini goal. So with that in mind, I kind of decided to lean down a little bit just so I felt more confident. And now on to talking about my process of leaning down. So I think that a lot of you get so caught up in all these different fad diets, and you think, right, I'm going to cut out carbs, I'm going to cut out fats, I'm going to do this, I'm going to follow this plan from the internet, and then you'll read different articles and they're all contradicting. So what works for one person may or may not work for another person, but at the end of the day, if you want to lean down, the overall idea in general is that you need to be burning more calories than you're consuming. So if you want to shed fat and lose weight, then you can't be going out and eating excess amounts of food every single day without burning that off. So I'm hoping this makes sense. I'm going to keep things very, very simple. I'm not going to try and edit this video a lot. I just want it to be a general chit chat and me just explaining things. So if you do have any questions, just drop them in the comments below and I will get back to everyone that drops the comments. If you're looking to cut, it really comes down to having consistent nutrition and consistent exercise that aligns with your goals. So when it comes to how I would cut, I personally like to count my macros. So my macros are my proteins, fats, and carbs. I find that I'm very scientific minded, and I know that if I hit these certain numbers each day, I'm going to reach my goals. So some people don't like to count calories, they don't want to count their macros, and that's fine. They can kind of just intuitively eat and judge when they're hungry or when they're full and just go off that. But for me, I'm more of a macro based person, and that's what works for me. So I do weigh all my foods and I track on the app MyFitnessPal. I have showed you guys in my full days of eating vlogs exactly, how I scan foods and how I weigh out my foods and how I do my meal prep and things. So definitely go check my other videos for that. But anyway, so I personally find that if it fits your macros, counting my proteins, fats, carbs, and total caloric intake works for me. And then when it comes to my exercise, I am mainly weight based. So I will pretty much start my cut being all weight, and then after a couple of weeks I might introduce some cardio. The kind of cardio I do is usually HIIT, so it's high intensity. It's either going to be bike sprints, row sprints, or running sprints, or a full body HIIT workout. So that's going to be things like kettlebell swings, burpees, push-ups, jump squats, jump lunges, just anything to get my heart rate up. And some of you would have seen that in the past few weeks I have been doing Stairmaster as well. I quite enjoy that. I find it really fun fun. Loosely using the words fun. But anyway, so I will do 40 minutes on a Stairmaster maybe once a week or once a fortnight, and that's just to keep my cardio health up as well as for the added glute burn and calorie burn. So when it comes to exercise, I don't recommend doing hours of cardio every single day. I would way rather focus on my nutrition and have that on point and only introduce cardio when I need to. So if I was doing weight training and I was eating X amount of food and I wasn't leaning down, then I might start to introduce a little bit more cardio, but it really just depends on how my body's going. So I only really use cardio for the general health benefits and then add it in to supplement kind of my weight training to help me lean down further. Ashley has asked, I was wondering if you could answer in your vlog how you deal with going out, drinking and partying while leaning down. This is a very good question. So you can technically lose weight and lose fat and still be able to go out and drink, but I personally would rather eat my calories than drink them. Like if you think of alcohol, it's really empty calories because alcohol doesn't provide you with any nutritional benefit. Alcohol is essentially a poison. I don't see it as a good thing to have in general life or like specifically when leaning down. So I pretty much never really drink. I might drink for like really big special occasions, but I'm on the general, I wouldn't go out every weekend drinking, and if I'm cutting, I definitely wouldn't be drinking. But if you do want to make it work and you want a balanced lifestyle and you want to be able to go out and drink, then sure, you can definitely make it work. Tips I would say to you is on the morning that you're going to be drinking, so you're going out on Saturday night drinking, then in the morning smash a workout, make sure you stay hydrated throughout the day. Limit your carbs throughout the day, so maybe after your workout in the morning have some carbs, and then try and limit your carbs throughout the day because you're going to be getting carbs from alcohol at night. Make sure that throughout the night when you are drinking, you're staying hydrated with water, and then when you get home, if I do go out, I always make sure that I drink a lot of water when I get home before going to sleep, and I just find that this helps a lot. And then straight away the next day, and also straight away after drinking, stay away from all the greasy foods and kind of junk food that people like to eat after a night out. Just don't do it because your body's still trying to process all the alcohol that you've had, and then on top of that you're giving it, all this fast food, which isn't going to help you. So yeah, get back on track the next day with your unprocessed, clean foods, and you should be fine. So yeah, I mean, you have to make this lifestyle work for you. If you want to have a drink, then I don't see why you shouldn't. I personally wouldn't be having alcohol, every night. Like I know some people like to have wine with dinner and things. I wouldn't do that. If you do want to have a drink but you still want to cut, just try and factor it in. So you could stay away from all the sugary drinks like cocktails, which is rich coming from me because I only really like cocktails. So stay away from that, and you could stick to vodka and water, vodka and a light soda or a light cranberry juice. So yeah, just try and be smart with the drinks that you do choose and choose lower calorie based ones. I don't find drinking a necessity to my life. I can have fun, I can go out and dance without that. And another thing is, if you are drinking, make sure you're getting off your butt and you are dancing all night, because that is definitely a good way to burn some calories. April, I hope I said your name right. What are my top tips when cutting, and would I recommend low weights high rep or heavy weights low rep, and how much cardio would I recommend a week? So this is a few questions. So I like to mix my training up a lot. Mainly right now with a cut is coming towards the end of my cut, I am a little bit weaker, which is expected because it's coming up to like 12 weeks of being in a caloric deficit, which is totally normal. To put things into perspective, my comp prep was about 15 to 16 weeks. So 12 weeks is quite a long time. I am doing higher reps, lower weights, just due to me being weaker. When it comes to heavier workouts, when I'm cutting, I don't really do heavy workouts. Like I'll aim to do say 12 to 15 reps, and I will push myself through those reps, but by the time I hit 12 or 15 reps, depending on my goal, I should not be able to do any more, and I shouldn't be stopping before I hit 12 or 15 reps. So in other words, my weight needs to be a weight that pushes me to get to 12 or 15 reps, but that I couldn't do any more of, and that it's not too heavy that I'm not going to hit those numbers of reps. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. But yeah, I personally love lifting heavy, so I love doing 5x5 in my squats and my deads, but that's something I would more do when I'm looking to gain strength or when I'm reverse dieting, which I will be starting on Thursday. Can't wait to increase my calories again. Another question from April is, she said, how much cardio would you recommend a week? Like I said, I kind of do minimal cardio. I just supplement it in when I feel like I need it. I'd focus mainly on weights and nutrition. What types of foods should be avoided while cutting and what to eat more of? So when you're cutting, again, you can fit in any types of foods you like. If you're doing an If It Fits Your Macros program, you can Google what If It Fits Your Macros is, and I'm sure you'll find heaps of articles on it. I'll even put something in the description box below about it, so make sure you check that out so you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, if I am cutting, I'm really trying to eat less processed foods. So really aiming to eat whole foods and foods that will fill me up that are less calories. So I don't really want calorie dense sugary foods because I feel like that doesn't fill me up and it usually just leaves me wanting more. So foods that I am thinking of are things like pumpkin. You can eat so much pumpkin and it can fill you up, but it's not very high calorie. So I have pumpkin, salads. My carbs are going to come from kumara, basmati rice or brown rice, oats. My protein sources and fat sources are things like eggs, salmon, peanut butter, meats. You can go for plant-based proteins if you're plant-based. So the options are endless, really. I mean, there's so many whole foods that you could eat and really enjoy. I just try and stay away from anything really packaged just because I feel like it doesn't really fill my body to the best of its ability. And when you are leaning down, your calories are getting lower and lower from week to week. You really want to have foods that are going to keep you fuller for longer. So I find that little snacks to go on, instead of having a protein bar, I might end up having some tuna on rice crackers or all natural nut butter on brown rice crackers, and the rice crackers are going to be 100% brown rice, nothing else added. So of course they're processed, so is tuna, but I just try and keep it as simple as I can. And you have to always be prepared when it comes to foods. Like if you are out with friends and things, I know that a lot of you say it's really hard to have a social life and to lean down, and it is, I'm not gonna lie, it's not exactly easy, but these days there's so many restaurants that can cater to your needs. So, if you go out, don't be afraid to ask for the sauce on the side. Don't be afraid to order, just straight chicken breast and salad, or fish and salad and things. There's definitely ways around it. If you're eating out, just try and pick somewhere that's going to be suitable. So I recommend staying away from pastas or starchy based meals. Pizzas, pastas, risottos, that kind of thing. Italian restaurants are very hard, but even some of them these days have, fish or chicken dishes. So when you're eating out, just try and make smarter choices. Ask for sauces on the side. Don't be afraid to order what you actually want, because at the end of the day, it's a restaurant and they're there to help you. Foods to avoid, processed foods where you can, but depending on your gut health and things, for me, I personally try and avoid dairy as well as heavier kind of processed things like bread. So yeah, I'll just keep it very simple. Dairy I find doesn't sit too well with me, but if I want to have an ice cream, I'm going to have an ice cream, and I'll just make sure it works within my daily caloric intake. I feel like I just talked a whole lot and I didn't breathe, and you guys are probably like, God, this girl just doesn't stop. But anyway, I'm going to finish this video up with a little pep talk with some of the things that I've kind of learned. I've noticed is that when I get messages, a lot of you will say certain things that you don't like about yourself. So you might say that you don't like your stomach or your legs or your arms or your back, all these crazy things about places that are storing fat. And before I get into that, I just want to say that you cannot spot reduce. Your fat, you can't choose where your fat falls from. What you have to do is follow the consistent exercise and nutrition, and the fat percentage overall will come down. You just have to trust the process, and whether that fat's going to come from your stomach or your back or your legs or your arms, it's going to be different for every single person. So just trust the process and go with that. On to the most important thing, and what I want to finish with is self-love. And I know you guys have probably read heaps of Instagram captions everywhere, and social media has gone crazy about it. I just want to give my 2 cents on this. You will not find true happiness if you're always looking for it elsewhere. So if you're thinking, I'll be happy when I get this job promotion, I'll be happy when I lose 10 kilos, I'll be happy when this person notices me, you're never going to be happy because you're never going to be there, because you're always looking elsewhere for it. If you focus on living your life in a way that you feel good about yourself and that you're making others feel good about themselves, you will find happiness. Losing 10 kilos isn't going to bring you happiness if you're going to dread the whole process to get there. If when you get there you realize that, oh no, you didn't just want to lose 10 kilos, you want to lose 20 kilos. My point is that numbers on a scale doesn't define who you are as a person. If everyone in the world started focusing more on non-materialistic and non-superficial things, then maybe we would all be happier. Like, you'll be looking on Instagram and you're comparing yourself to them, or what they look like in a bikini, or what kind of car they drive, or what kind of job they do, and then you're looking back at yourself and you're like, damn, what am I doing? And you panic. And I know how this feels because I've done it, and sometimes I still do it, but I am real enough with myself to check out my life and be grateful for everything that I have, and just know that you can be grateful for what you have while working on other things. Although I still might want to lose, say, 1 kilo or 2 more, doesn't mean that I'm not proud of how far I've come now, and I can be grateful for all the hard work that I've put in and then still work on reaching my goals. So I think that a lot of people think that they're going to find happiness somewhere else and when they reach a goal and stuff, but life is such a journey. You may as well enjoy the journey while you're trying to achieve that goal. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, I just think that you're not going to get to where you want to be by dreading who you are as a person now and by dreading your situation things. Just make the most of what you've got now. Work really hard. Stop making excuses. Stop looking at what everyone else is doing. Focus on you. And when it comes to a fat loss journey, stop reading online about all these different things, because you're going to get so caught up in what everyone else is doing that you don't even start. You spend so much time planning for it that you never actually just start to take a step day by day, whether it's cutting out fizzy drinks, cutting out lollies, sugary treats, and just starting to be more active. You don't have to go to the gym to reach your goals. I mean, if your general goal is weight loss, then yeah, you can get walking, you can do adventures with friends, you can just look at changing your nutrition. I mean, most people that are struggling being overweight need to start looking at their nutrition before anything else. So go through your pantry. If you're struggling with eating things in the house, go through your pantry, throw out what you don't need, or even better, donate it. Clean out what you don't need, what you're not going to be eating. Get a coach that has your best interest at heart, your physical and your mental. Stop comparing yourself to other people online. Once you've got your nutrition and training on point, look into supplementation. It can definitely help you out. And 5, love yourself at every point of the journey, because a number on a scale is not going to give you the happiness that you're looking for. Only you can do that for yourself. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Hope I didn't ramble too much, and if you did enjoy it and you found it useful or you have questions, make sure you comment below. As always, I gotta end the vlog as I do. So if you enjoyed this vlog, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and smile.